Well, trolls are one way to start a
Oh
lie.
yeah, no, this happens. This happens all the time. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's just part of the live experience, unfortunately, and some people just
yeah,
can't
I'm
leave it
a
in Reddit,
host too.
or
Yeah,
some people just can't leave it in Reddit or VR chat.
yeah, I'm a host too. I understand.
So you get it. Welcome back, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, awesome. How was your birthday, by the way?
It was good. It was fun. Did a photo shoot the day before. Did like a Lucifer photo shoot, and
Ooh.
a lot of emotion was conveyed there. And my actual birthday, we chilled out on July 4th. We actually celebrated it, and it was fun and all. We got food poisoning, but it was worth
Oh.
it. So, but yeah, you know the rules already.
Yes, I do. And this one, I would say is more. It's a relatively more of my most laid down stories,
That's okay.
chill, or whatever. Um, so this one takes place in the house again, and actually, I moved back to the house.
hmm
Yeah, officially. Willingly, not really, but either way, I'm here. Um, so this one takes place, I want to say, around a year and a half ago, if not 2 years ago, and I was living in the second bedroom, kind of facing the street. Now, this is the time where I actually got to stay in my room. But there is a window like right behind my bed.
hmm
And the way I slept, I kind of slept with my head facing the doorway and my head like, you know, being like looking in the opposite direction from the window.
hmm
Um, and this was happening, I want to say, like during winter or late fall, because I live in the desert. So when the weather cools down, I take advantage of it and I crack those windows open in a heartbeat every time I go to sleep. Every
Oh,
time.
that's a good. I would do the same.
Honestly, listen, 118 degree weather, and it's finally 64. I'm taking advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Um, so either way, this night it was a cool night, cool breeze or whatever, and I go to sleep. Now, me, I have insomnia, always have, always probably will. So I wake up sometime in the morning. I don't know what time it is, but it was late at night, and I shoot up in my bed because there's just like alarms going off in my head. Like, you know how like your intuition is kind of heavily like sitting on your chest and
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you have to do this like right now. And I don't know. It was just like I was hearing like screaming in my head, quite literally telling me, "Shut the window, shut the window, shut the window." It was just like relaying it over and over again throughout my head. Shut the window, shut the window, loud as hell. It was like a like alarming feeling that it was going through my body.
Yeah.
Um, and so I don't know what it told me to, but I didn't look outside of the window when I shut it, right? I looked down, slid my hand through the little blinds or whatever, and I closed the window and I locked it. And I don't know what was outside of it. All I know is I heard noises that did not sound human or didn't even sound like a cat. I wouldn't even say it sounded like something imitating a cat.
Yeah.
And I've been around dozens of cats, and I've heard more than hundreds of cats. So you cannot sit here and tell me that that was a cat.
Yeah.
And now, after that, I kind of, sat back down, and all of a sudden, the messages kind of dissipated, and like my anxiety started to calm down. So I had to kind of chill out for a minute before I was able to kind of go back to sleep. Um, but a couple days after that, I did a pendulum reading,
hmm
and that was when I was at work, so I wasn't even home when I did it. Um, but that was when I worked at the escape room. The whole ghost, and the Ouija board stuff happened. So I go to work. I did a pendulum reading with one of my coworkers in the same room as me. And one of the questions I asked, and I was very, very vague with the question for a reason. I was like, I think I asked like along the lines a couple nights ago when I closed the window in the middle of the night, was the thing outside of my house what I thought it was? And it said yes. It was like a heavy, hard yes.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even something you could really question. Like, so, whether it was a maybe or a no. Like, no, it was a heavy yes. And what I thought it was, and this is something I didn't really tell a lot of people, was the thoughts that were going through my head. I was like, it's kind of giving S Walker. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was like, nah, this is S Walker activity. I was saying that in my head over and over because I lived near the mountains, but I wasn't like so damn close to the mountains where it was like walking distance.
Right.
But I knew there was like activity of that type of stuff like on the edge of the city where I lived, and I live on the residential part, like on the edge of the city. So plus on the fact that we're surrounded by mountains doesn't really help. So but either way, so that happened, and Grim. Yeah, no, yeah. So that happened, and ever since then, I think I've only had one or two encounters with those entities, or not even really entities. They're just, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure. I appreciate it, Magical. Another thing too, like I think you're aware of this though, but I do ghost story narrations. So if you have a story you want me to narrate that you've already told, feel free to DM it to me. I would love to narrate it. So
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I got you.
appreciate it. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. You're always welcome here. You know that.
I was about to say, this is my third. You got my third story. I got a couple more for you later.
For sure. Another thing too, this is being screen recorded, so like, if you don't want to be featured on the YouTube channel, just let me know and I'll take this part of the story off. So, but
Oh, you're fine. Feature me. I do not care.
Perfect,
I'm already on a lot of YouTube videos anyway, so go ahead.
all right, sounds good. Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, you have a good night.
You too. All right, bye. Okay, up next. No one's in the queue. Okay. Well, I'm gonna return to the Amityville article. Come on, for Frodo. Come on. Yeah, great story. Of course, all these damn ads. Thank you, Lane. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, Lane. All right. Inside the Real Horror House and its story of unaliving and hauntings. A year after Ronald DeFeo Jr. unalived 6 of his family members at 112 Ocean Avenue. There's a place in Ocean Avenue. ADHD. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. Ray, I saw you had a story. It's okay, but if you want to be a guest, I would love to have you on. The Lutz family moved in and began experiencing unexplainable hauntings and that would inspire the Amityville horror. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. Do you know how to be a guest? Or do you need me to invite you? Nope. Okay, I'll invite you. Do you want to be a guest? Is the question. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, invited. There we go. I sent you the invite. There we go. Hey, Ray.
Hey.
Thank you for being here. I know you're over 18, but as per TikTok guidelines, I have to ask, how old are you?
45.
Thank you for bearing with me. Try not to. Are you okay with being screen recorded?
Sure. Yeah, I guess. Yep.
No,
You're the first person that's ever asked that.
yeah, no, it's a discretion, like, because a lot of my viewers want this on YouTube. I'm like, okay, you guys have spoken, so, but obviously, if you don't want to be featured on YouTube, that's completely fine. I will edit it out. But yeah,
No, I'm good. I'm good.
perfect. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to say the F word here and there. And try not to get too fanatical. It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. That being said,
None of that. Yeah, I'm good. Yep.
it's all you.
So, this is such like for me, it's so weird to even like talk about. But when I was like 13 or 14, my grandfather passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That night, or apparently the night that he had passed, I woke up and I had my lava lamp on. This is back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So my lava lamp was going, and I usually fell asleep with it on, and I typically woke up in the middle of the night and shut it off. So it was going, but I looked around the room, and I swear my grandfather was like hanging out in my room,
Mm-hmm.
but a younger version of him. But I knew who he was. It was weird. Like, he was a younger version of himself from probably the 50s era. He had like a hat on with a feather in the hat, like a suit, totally 50s era.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my God. I was like, hey. And then I just kind of like in my head clicked it off. The next morning I woke up. My mom was like, I have really bad news. Your grandfather passed away last night. And I was like, I know. He came and he said goodbye. He said goodbye to me.
Wow.
That's it. That's
for
the
sure.
story.
No, that's a great story.
It's not that wild. It's not that wild, but it was. I feel like it was real.
Yeah. When it comes to like ghost stories, I'm not. I want you to tell me your experiences. I don't care. It doesn't always have to be The Conjuring. What rarely happens. It doesn't have to be The Conjuring. Doesn't gotta be Insidious. It could be something as simple as that. Simple as seeing like a shadow figure at a graveyard or something just by a glance, which is okay.
Yep.
So.
No, I know, and that's why I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for sure. I appreciate you, Ray. Thank you for being here.
oh, you're welcome.
You take care. You have a wonderful night and have a wonderful spooky season.
Same to you.
Thank you. All right. Well, if you guys love what you see, smash that like button. The more you hit the like button, the more this live gets shared to a lot of others on the algorithm, FYPs, and obviously share it. If you're on the East Coast and it's really late over there, it's that spooking hour right now. Thank you for the follow, Ray. Yeah, share it. Share this live. Tanya, thank you for the sharing. But yeah, Ray, if you have any other stories you like me to narrate for a TikTok or Instagram video, just DM it to me and I'll make you a collaborator on Instagram and obviously tag you on TikTok. So, perfect, Scorpio Star. All right. Well, once again, we have no one in the queue. So, going back to Amityville. All right. A year after Ronald DeFeo Jr. unalived 6 of his family members at 112 Ocean Avenue, the Lutz family moved in and began experiencing unexplainable hauntings that will inspire the events of Amityville Horror. It's late, but I'm getting ready for work, for surely. In the early morning hours of November 13th, 1974, one Amityville house in Long Island, New York, became more than a mere suburban home. Instead, it became a ghastly crime scene as Ronald DeFeo Jr. skulked the halls with a pew pew and unalived his parents and 4 of his siblings in their sleep. He later claimed that there were voices in his head urging him to unalive, and some believe to this day that he was indeed hearing spirits that resided on the property. Despite the widely publicized 1974 unalivings, numerous families have since moved in and out of the house, now listed as 108 Ocean Avenue. Meanwhile, the purportedly paranormal occurrences that happened here have spawned a slew of books and films like the Amityville Horror, which have kept tourists flocking to the house ever since. Ronald DeFeo's grisly crimes were all too real. It is possible that he was actually under the control of... Is it possible that he was actually under the control of evil spirits that inhabited the house and haunted the Lutz family that moved in soon after? Oh yeah, Long Island's definitely full of energy. A lot of history there before the colonizers came. Anyway, either way, the images and the stories below take you inside the Amityville Horror House, the scene of both of the grisliest crimes and most notorious alleged hauntings in modern history. Yeah. Fun fact, there's a family that's living there right now, and they're just like, no, just leave us alone, dude. But anyway, pausing right here. Before I continue, is there anyone that would love to hop on and be a guest? After I'm done with this article, I can share with you guys one of my own paranormal experiences. So, anyway, once again, if you like what you see, share it. The Amityville unalivings of Ronald DeFeo Jr. It was the middle of the night on November 13th, 1974, when 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. unalived 6 of his relatives with a pew-pew while they were asleep. Parents, Lois and Ronald DeFeo Sr. Siblings, 18-year-old Dawn, 13-year-old Allison, 12-year-old Mark, and 9-year-old John Matthew. Though he confessed to what became known as the Amityville unalivings, DeFeo's defense would later attempt to enter the insanity plea. DeFeo claimed he was guided by malevolent voices in his head and couldn't control his behavior. It was this claim that the unalivings themselves that spawned the notion that the property itself was haunted, and that the DeFeo family as a whole were victims of the house. However, a look at DeFeo Jr.'s life provides an alternative reading to the events. Yep, exactly. You already know, Scorpio Star. With an abusive father and passive mother, the boy's troubled childhood led to substance abuse as an adult. He not only lashed out at his father, but once even threatened him with a pew-pew. The parents hoped letting him live at home and with a weekly stipend would help DeFeo. Barely held a job. On the day in question, DeFeo Jr. left work and went to a bar. He kept calling his home to no avail and complained to patrons about it. He eventually left, only to return at 6:30 a.m. when he yelled, "You got to help me. I think my mother and father are..." Authorities found all 6 family members unalived in their beds, shot with a pew-pew around 3:15 a.m. and positioned on their stomachs. There was no sign of struggle, nor that they were influenced by. No local reports of pew pew shots were logged, with only the DeFeo dog barking away. DeFeo Jr. changed his alibi several times, from claiming he was at the bar during the time of the unalivings to mob hitman Louis Fellini unaliving his family while forcing DeFeo Jr. to watch. He eventually confessed that he unalived his own family down and stood trial on October 14th, 1975. Oh, thank you, Hush. I appreciate it. Just came back, dude. Came back. I got dismissed from my band, and I'm here now. So I'm going all in on social media. I'm not gonna go into it. Though attorney William Weber tried to enter an insanity plea, the prosecution argued DeFeo Jr. was merely a substance abuser. Who was well aware of what he was doing that night. He was convicted of 6 counts of second-degree unaliving and sentenced to 6 concurrent sentences of 25 to life. All right, pausing right here. Who here has a story they would like to tell? If you have a ghost story you'd like to tell, be a guest, hop on. Would love to have you on. Is he still living? I believe he is. Yes, he is still living. Yes. If you have a question for me, go ahead and ask. All right, back to the article. The true story of the Amityville horror house. But it wasn't until the Lutz family moved into the house on December of 1975 that the purported haunting of the Amityville horror house allegedly set in. Hey, Lena. Reportedly set in. George and Kathy Lutz believed their purchase of 4,000 square foot house at $80,000 was a steal, but moved out 28 days later after terrifying incidents allegedly forced them to flee. From green slime purportedly oozing from the walls and eyes peering into the house from outside to foul odors and Kathy allegedly levitating in bed, it was a rather disquieting month. George claimed he woke up at 3:15 a.m. each night, the exact time of unaliving of the DeFeo family members. Jay Anson's 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, was based on these reported events, including the house's investigation by famed and controversial ghost hunters Ed and Lorraine Warren, and served as the foundation for the 1979 film of the same name, which was remade in 2005, which is a great remake, by the way. They pay taxes there. The book became a bestseller while the film grew into a classic, and legions of horror addicts flocked to the town. Anson's book used 45 hours of the family's recorded interviews as a basis. And one of the 3 Lutz children, Christopher Quarantino, confirmed that the hauntings happened. However, he also said that the events were exaggerated by his stepfather, George Lutz. George Lutz was curious about the paranormal activity and actively tried to summon spirits, but had a financial motivation to sell his story to the media due to his family's severe debt. And Weber, DeFeo Jr.'s attorney said the haunting was all a hoax, which he purportedly conjured up with Anson while doing that. Gotta stretch. Ultimately, the house remains just that, a house. It has changed hands for decades, with nothing but price fluctuations and a change in address serving as notable incidents. But even after the Amityville Horror House's address change, the public fascination never let up. To this day, countless people still seek to get inside the Amityville Horror House just to get a taste of its supposed terrors. All right, we're at a paragraph break right here. Does anyone have a story they would like to tell, that they would like to share? Be a guest. Would love to have you on. Once again, after this article, I'm going to be telling one of my own personal stories. I tell this story all the time, and it's not going to be the last time I tell it either. Okay. Whew, moving on. At present, the Dutch colonial home is quite a property, with 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and a boathouse on the canal of the Long Island Sound. The house can command a high price and attract wealthy buyers. Despite its appeal, after the Lutz family moved out, it went into a foreclosure in 1977. It was next owned by James and Barbara Cromarty. The owners of Riverhead Raceway. The Cromartys, is it Cromartys or Cromartis? Okay. Changed the Amityville Horror House address from 112 to 108, hoping to stave off stalkers and retain its fluctuating value. To this day, the Amityville House address remains 108. After an uneventful decade living within its walls, they sold it to Peter and Jeanne O'Neill in 1987. The O'Neills sold in 1997 for $310,000 to Brian Wilson, not the Beach Boys singer, no. Most recently, the house was sold for $605,000 in 2017. Wow. Man, that inflation hit all of us, huh? Jesus. All right. As for the New Jersey home, used for 1979's Amityville Films exterior shots, it was put on the market in 2011 for $1.45 million, then dropped to 1.35. Damn, inflation. When Autolus Fragoso put the 1920 structure on the market, she was immediately asked if it was haunted. She explained that the ghost had nothing to do with the sale and that she was merely divorcing her husband. When asked if she had seen the famous film, Fragoso explained she only saw parts of it, but that her children see it constantly. Ultimately, the appeal of the Amityville house and its related New Jersey home seems largely rooted in the purportedly exaggerated book and its haunted adaptations. I'm about to say apparitions. Dyslexia at its finest. To this day, horror fans truly convinced by the haunting still visit, hoping to catch a glimpse of a ghost. After looking inside the Amityville house today, read about the house that inspired The Conjuring and its fearless new owners. Next, that is it. That is it. X out. X out. I legit bought this tablet just to read articles for you guys. Anyway. All right. Before I get into my story, do any of you have a story you'd like to share? Okay. You know, Lane, I like both. I like the odd version a bit better, to be honest. Because, I don't know, just older movies back then, they just leave a lot to the imagination. And Ryan Reynolds' remake was awesome. Hey, Jay. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds' remake was awesome. Guys, Follow Ones and Five. Phenomenal photographer. He did my recent photo shoot. The photos will be released soon. Follow Ones and Five. He's a real one, all right?
Jay is on.
He's on here right now, yes.
Jay said hi.
And Babe says hi. Anyway, but yeah, I prefer the OGG version, to be honest. I just love the atmosphere in that movie. It left a lot to the imagination. Films, generally speaking, do not have that effect these days. Hi, Dreams and Coffee Time. And I don't know, it's just, there's a lot more, there's less imaginative play than, it's more showing too much, rather than like, what's going on? What does it look like? Blah, 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 you know? But that's just how it was back then. So. Jay says yellow. But anyway, I'm about to get in my story. Once again, if you guys have a story you want to tell, just jump on here. Click the guest button down below or the little plus symbol right here. And we'd love to have you on. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Excuse me, Mama. If you have a story you want to share, just click the guest button down below. Love to have you on as a guest. But aside from that, welcome. Welcome here. The little ghost story fanatic community, plus a community of mediums here and there. Anyway, on to my story. So, 2014, I was stationed, thank you for the follow, Mama. I was stationed on the USS Bonhomme Richard LHD-6 in Sasebo, Japan at the time. Every job in the Navy has a rotation go on that sends people of various job titles to the kitchen to help the cooks out. Mainly ranks of E4 and below. So it was finally my turn to get thrown into the lion's pit. And I got lucky to be picked to serve in the officer ward than the enlisted ward, in the enlisted dining area. Serving 1,000 enlisted is ludicrous compared to serving the officers. Way less, very much manageable. Now, this is the time of year where people are visiting their families, and it's basically leaving a skeleton crew on the ship. So, it was my duty day. So I go to the officer ward, I relieve the person that was on duty the night before, and he gives me the master key card to every officer room on the ship. And he said, have fun, bro. Cool guy. So there's no one in the officer ward but me. And I'm gonna take advantage of this. There's no Marines on board. I go into the Marine executive officer's bedroom, which is a hotel room compared to what us enlisted slept in. I'm thinking, yeah, this is awesome. I took my gear off. I got in that bed. It was still early in the morning. I'm tired. So I laid down, and oh my God, it was comfortable. About 10-15 minutes later, I start hearing what sounds like chatter in the hallways. And I'm thinking, no one should be here. No one should be in the hallways right now. And it sounded like two people going over some plans or something. So I'm like, okay, well, just tell them to leave, you know? So I put my gear back on, got out of the bed, and stiff neck. And went to go inspect the hallways, and there was nobody there. Nobody. So I'm thinking, okay, no worries, no problem. Just they left. That's fine. Cool. So I go back to the bedroom and I lay down again. I start hearing that same chatter, but this time it sounds like it's a lot closer. It sounds like it's coming from the room right next to me. which is the Marine Commanding Officer's bedroom. Just for reference, structure-wise, commanding officer of bases in the military. Person directly below the president, middleman. If I'm discovered in any of these bedrooms, my career is over. So, yeah, I'm pretty scared about walking into this bedroom. So, I put the key card in and I opened the door. It was just darkness. There's nobody there. This is weird. Okay. All right. So I closed the door and I went back to the bedroom. I'm trying to convince myself a rational way of thinking this, and I'm like, you know what? It was probably just coming from below decks, and its sound is just traveling through the vents. That makes sense. I put my head back down and need to pause right here. How many of you have seen The Grudge or The Ring? At the foot of the bed, real quick, I'm not medium, I'm not a clairvoyant, not clairaudient. I don't see these things ever. At the foot of the bed, I saw what looked like twin girls, and both of them resembled Samara from The Ring. Both of them had very messy, tangly, wiry hair in front of their faces. And they both had cracked, grayish blue, unalive skin. And both had discolored dresses on them. I'm freaked out. That's an understatement. I blink. Now they're chest level to me. And at the same time, both start choking me. You can only imagine what was going through my head. One can only imagine what was going through my head. Terrifying is an understatement. It's the first time ever I've seen something that didn't belong on this side of the veil. I barely mustered up enough courage just to yell out, "Leave me alone." The next moment, they were gone. Like, popped in, popped out, you know? I'm trying to convince myself, you know what? It's just a dream. It was just a dream. I put my head back down, and not even a second later, that same voice from earlier said my name. Put my gear back on. I left and never went back. That is the only paranormal experience, really, that I've experienced. That I experienced while awake. That I've ever seen with my own two eyes. So that's one of my stories. So, once again, guys, if you like what you see, smash that like button. Like, smash, 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 smash. Smash it, yeah. And if you love it, share it. Share it with people you think that would be interested in paranormal lives. Once again, I want to hear your story. If you have a story you'd like to tell, click the guest button down below. Would love to have you on. People more susceptible to the supernatural and they're experiencing anything paranormal. Yeah, some people are. Some people are. And for some people, it's part of their everyday life. And it's okay. You don't have to come if you don't want to. What you can do is send me your story, and I can narrate it. And check out my TikTok videos. And that's how it's the style I do it in. And if you're interested in that, just message me. No, I don't charge. Cool. Love it. But yeah, some people are susceptible to it. And some people that are, they've been able to help people out with their lives that need guidance from ancestors. So ancestors, guides, all that stuff. So generally they're known as mediums. And yeah, there's the, obviously, you can't escape the cons, but the genuine ones do exist too. So, but once again, guys, if you have a story you'd like to share, jump on in. If you like this live, share it. Anna Ray, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Get this live out there. Get this live on people's FYPs. All right. Is there a certain case, a certain paranormal, case you guys would like me to look up? Because I will look it up and I will just read the article. Let's see.
Look up some Queen Mary ones.
Yeah, huh? I am gonna look up some ones from the Queen Mary, which was suggested by my lovely girlfriend, who's over there. No, I'm not gonna show you. All right. Queen Mary. Hauntings. Fun fact, my girlfriend and I actually stayed on that boat. There you go. Okay. Oh, it's the actual website. Let's see. U.S. Ghost Adventures. What culture? Oh, thank you for the share, Dreams and Coffee. I appreciate you. Thank you. Really. The ghosts of the RMS Queen Mary. The RMS Queen Mary, now a floating hotel and museum docked in Long Beach, California, has captured the imaginations of both history buffs and paranormal enthusiasts. Launched in 1934 as one of the most opulent transatlantic ocean liners at the time, the Queen Mary now holds a different reputation, one of America's most haunted locations. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported numerous ghost sightings, strange sounds, and eerie occurrences over the years. Whether one is drawn to the ship for its rich history or its purported hauntings, the Queen Mary offers an intriguing combination of both. I don't know why I had to say it like that, but both! Anyway. Originally constructed by the John Brown and Company shipyard in Clydebank, Scotland, and the RMS Queen Mary was a flagship for the Cunard White Star Line. She was intended to be a symbol of British ingenuity, engineering, and luxury. named after Queen Mary and wife of King George V. The ship was designed to compete with other luxury liners, such as the SS Normandy during the early 20th century. Upon her maiden voyage in May 1936, the Queen Mary became the largest and fastest passenger ship of her time. Almost like the Interceptor from Pirates of the Caribbean. Anyway, ADHD. The elegant Art Deco design and sophisticated amenities made her popular among the elite. The ship boasted 5 dining areas, 2 swimming pools, a grand ballroom, and even a small hospital, a testament to the dedication to passenger comfort. Over the next few years, she was favored by celebrities, dignitaries, and even members of the British royal family. That's cool. However, World War II would change the fate of the Queen Mary. In 1940, she was requisitioned by the British government and converted into a troop ship, repainted gray and stripped of her luxury fittings. Dubbed the Gray Ghost due to her stealthy appearance and incredible speed. The ship played a vital role in the war effort, transporting 800,000 troops. She also set a record by carrying more than 16,000 soldiers in a single voyage, and a testament to her size and capacity. Wow. I'm not done with the article, just taking that all in, from luxury to warship. That escalated quickly. Once again, guys, if you like what you see, smash the like button. Share it. Share the live. Get this live out there. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anna Ray. After the war, the Queen Mary was refurbished and returned to passenger service in 1947, continuing to traverse the Atlantic for another 2 decades. However, with the rise of air travel in the 1960s, the demand for transatlantic voyages decreased, and the Queen Mary was retired in 1967. The same year, she was permanently docked in Long Beach, California, where she now serves as a hotel, museum, and conference center. Oh boy, gotta give my voice a break. My goodness. Since being docked in Long Beach, the RMS Queen Mary has garnered a reputation of being haunted. Countless visitors and employees have reported strange happenings aboard the ship. I, as a visitor, reported some strange happenings. I'll get to that after the article. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much for the likes. The likes, Anna Ray. I appreciate you. Scorpio Star, thank you for the likes. Yes. Visitors and employees have have reported strange happenings aboard the ship, leading to its recognition as one of the most haunted places in America. Many of the ship's so-called ghostly residents are believed to be connected to tragic events that occurred during her service years, including wartime mishaps and accidents. Oh boy. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. The likes and shares help with the FYP. So you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. One of the ship's most infamous haunted locations is the first-class swimming pool. Though the pool has long since been drained and is no longer in use, many visitors and paranormal investigators claim to have seen ghostly apparitions of women in vintage swimsuits walking across the area. Some have even reported seeing wet foots leading to the pool despite the absence of water. I've seen the pool. I didn't report anything. Nothing. I didn't see anything. 2 particularly well-known spirits are associated with the pool. The spirit of the young girl named Jackie, who was said to have drowned there, and a mysterious woman in her 1930s style dress. Audio recordings have allegedly captured Jackie's voice calling out for help, and some claim to have seen her playing by the poolside. Thank you, Scorpio Star. Stateroom B340 is perhaps the most notorious. I've been inside that room, I'll talk about it. Is perhaps the most notorious haunted location aboard the Queen Mary. The room has been the site of numerous eerie experiences, with guests and staff reporting sudden temperature drops. Oh my god, lucky in this weather, I need that. Mysterious knocking, and even the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. According to the ship legend, a man was unalived in this room, and his restless spirit continues to haunt it. Over the years, so many strange events occurred in B340. That room was eventually closed to the public for a time. It has been since reopened with special paranormal activity packages available for those brave enough to stay there. Oh boy. The Queen Mary's engine room, located deep within the ship, has also been a hotspot for paranormal activity. One particularly tragic accident in the engine room has led to ongoing ghost sightings during the ship's service years, and a young sailor was crushed to unalive by door 13, a heavy watertight door. Since that time, multiple visitors have reported seeing the spirit of a man dressed in blue overalls roaming in the engine room. Wonder what it'd be like to work there. Curious. Some claim to have felt cold gusts of air or seen shadowy figures around the massive door where the accident occurred. Oh boy. Gotta take a rest. Hold on. If you guys like this, like it. Like the live. Keep in mind, only read when there's nobody in the queue. So if you guys have a story you'd like to share, click the guest button down below. Would love to have you as a guest. And in the meantime, I'm gonna continue reading. Lodge Tales, hey, good to see you. The Queen's Salon, formerly the first class lounge, is another area of the ship said to be haunted. Visitors have reported seeing a woman dressed in white floating across the room before vanishing into air. The identity of the lady in white is unknown, but her ghost has been seen numerous times by staff and guests alike. Some believe she may have been a former passenger who unalived tragically aboard the ship. Given to the Queen Mary's history as troop ships during World War II, it's perhaps unsurprising that the spirits of the soldiers are said to linger on the ship. During the war, the Queen Mary collided with HMS Curaçao. I'm not sure if I said that correctly or not. Yes, I know. No, he's been on my lives many times in the past. I love his stories. Great guy. A British cruiser, resulting in the loss of over 300 sailors. While there are no confirmed reports that the spirits of these sailors haunt the ship, many visitors have heard the sounds of boots marching in unison in the halls late at night. Oh, good. The Queen Mary's reputation as a haunted ship has attracted the attention of numerous paranormal investigators and television shows, including Ghost Hunters, Most Haunted, and Celebrity Ghost Stories. These teams have recorded countless hours of footage aboard the ship, documenting unexplainable phenomena from strange voices and footsteps to moving objects and apparitions. Whew. Many psychics and paranormal experts who have visited the ship claim that it is a veritable hotspot for supernatural activity. Some believe that the ship's unique history, especially its time spent as a troop ship during World War II, may have left behind residual energy, leading to an increased likelihood of ghostly encounters. Others suggest that Queen Mary's tragic accidents and loss of life have created a lingering connection to the spirit world. Today, the Queen Mary stands as a popular tourist destination, attracting history enthusiasts, ghost hunters, and those simply curious about its lore. That's okay. That's okay. If you fall asleep to this, it's valid. People used to fall asleep to the live all the time. The ship offers daily tours that highlight both its rich history and its paranormal reputation. Special haunted tours such as the Ghost and Legends tour take visitors to the ship's most famous haunted locations, offering a glimpse to the eerie stories associated with the vessel. For those seeking a more immersive experience, the Queen Mary also offers overnight stays, which I've been on, in some of its cabins, including the infamous Storeroom 340. Guests have reported strange occurrences during the stays, from flickering lights to unexplainable sounds in the middle of the night. Ghosts of the RMS Queen Mary. Yeah, by all means. By all means, Lodge Tales, come on up. Miss your energy, bro. Yeah. Whew. All right, Lodge Tales, you are up. Hey, welcome back, bro.
Hey, Samael, good to see you.
Yeah. Oh, it's all you, man.
Okay, so this story comes from my father-in-law. It actually comes from his dad. So, be my wife's grandpa. It's his story. So, way back, I want to say this was in about maybe about the 60s or so. Families, see, they used to always migrate. They still do it to this day, but they'll kind of migrate back into the mountains and they'll set up a hunting camp, they'll go back there on horseback, things like that. Each family on our reservation, this is the Blackfeet Reservation in Montana, when they'd go back into those mountains, they all had their own camping place back there, and they all knew one another. They even have mountains back there named after those families that went back in there. And this is far, man. This is like untouched. You'd go there and you'd think you're the first person to ever set foot in these places. It's that remote, right?
Yeah.
Because you're just surrounded by mountains. I mean, it's beautiful back there. Well, anyways, so one of these people that used to always go back there from my tribe, he'd go back by himself, and he was known for going back there by himself. And that's kind of like something that's kind of frowned upon. You're always kind of looked at as like weird and out there, like, dude, you're going back there alone? But he used to do it all the time, just him and his dog, right? So it wasn't too out of the ordinary, but they'd still kind of wonder about the guy. Well, anyways, so he goes back and he camps that first night, and he doesn't even start hunting yet. He just made his camp, got the fire burning, and all of a sudden his dog started growling. And he got away from the fire because he had a little tent, a wall tent pitched back there. And he got away from that fire so he could hear better. And he heard singing. And it was right outside of his tent. Somewhere outside of his tent, he heard singing. Like native singing, like Indian music. He heard somebody out there singing. And he goes out and he starts looking around. He's like, I wonder who that is singing. And he steps out. And he sees an owl sitting, it's perched right on top of his tent, and it's singing Indian. And he tells it, hey, go away, get out of here. And it wouldn't leave. It just kept singing. Now owls don't do that, they don't sing like that. They don't make noises like that. Well, anyways, he finally goes out with his pew-pew because he was getting kind of freaked out by it. So he goes out with his pew-pew and he tells it again to leave, and it won't leave. So he takes aim at it, and as soon as he pulls that trigger, he passes out, like boom, and he wakes up, and he's looking around, and his his fire's just coals at this time. He'd been out a little while, you know, and this guy knows his pew pew very well. He uses it all the time. There's no way he can just, you know, pull the trigger and then get knocked out, like get hit by it. It wasn't like that. And so he starts looking around, and well, the owl's gone, his dog is gone, and he thinks, well, this ain't a good sign. I'm just gonna pack all my stuff up and I'm gonna, you know, just ride back out. And so he does, and when he gets home, his dog's just kind of sitting by his house waiting for him. Even his dog ran away, dude. It left him back in there. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. These owl stories are all really, really strange. And where I grew up at, in the Medicine Valley there, you know, a lot of the elders, we used to have this thing called Potts Days. It was the family Potts. They stayed just down the creek from us. And what they would do is kind of set up like a mini powwow where like you could go out and gamble, the old school gambling, traditional gambling called hand game. You could do that, or stick game. It's the same thing. You could play that, and there were horse races, Indian relay races that would take place. But anyways, the elders, like the guys that grew up with my grandpa, they would always tell the kids, don't go down in that bottom there. You know, the bottom they're referring to a floodplain. Like don't go down in there. You guys stay up here, stay around these lights. You know, when it turns night, because the old Blackfeet believe you shouldn't even be out at night. You know. Yeah. That's not our time. We're supposed to go down with the sun and then wake up with the sun. We're not supposed to be, you know, like out and about playing around anyways at night. So anyways, he would warn you. He says, don't go down there because there's those big owls down there. You know, Omoxissupi, you know, that's that big owl he's talking about. And what that owl is it's a spirit, of course. It's a spirit, but they're giant. They're like 6 feet tall, and they're mean. And for some reason, I don't know why they're mean, but they'll cuss at you and stuff. Now, what's interesting about this is, if you follow the Imoyitepi, the Bigfoot rabbit hole far enough, you'll get to stories where you start hearing people say, "Yeah, there was a Bigfoot there, and next to it was this giant owl." You know, there's been stories like that where people have seen those giant owls near a Bigfoot. They're like standing there together. Yeah. You know, so it's really, really weird, this owl phenomenon or whatever you want to call it. But so my cousin, he was driving down that hill where you're coming from town to Medicine Hill, we call it, and you're driving down. And there's a bridge down there that you cross. And anyways, he gets down by that bridge. And, well, his girlfriend's driving, and, geez, they had to swerve because there was one of those right in the middle of the road. They almost hit it, and they had to swerve out of the way and then go around it, and they don't even stop. They get to where they're going, and they get out of it. You know, they're talking about the whole time. You seen that, right? Like, yeah. What was it? It was a giant owl. Like, yeah, it was. And it was just standing right in the middle of the road, right where they were driving. Like, not moving, just staring at the car, at the headlights. It's so weird. And like the last story I guess I'll share about these, I mean, I could go on and on about these owls, but this other one is really interesting, and I don't know if I've ever told you, but so I have this friend, he's a Cree. He's not Blackfeet, but he was talking about this one night to me, and he was saying his cousin was out. He went out hunting near the mountains, and he didn't get nothing that day. It was just a day trip. He didn't camp or nothing. He just rode his horse back a ways, you know, along the foothills, and he was coming back home. Well, on his way back home, he noticed this cave, and he never really noticed that cave there before, you know. And so he gets off his horse and he pegs it to the ground, and he walks into that cave, and he starts following it all the way back. It wasn't too deep of a cave, kind of shallow. It didn't go too far back. But he was following it back, and finally he gets to the end of it, and it's just a wall, you know, it stops where it's at, and so he turns around to come back out, but when he turns around on one of the little outcroppings on the side of the wall, there's an owl there. And he stops, and he's looking at that owl, and all of a sudden it flies around the corner, and it goes a little ways, and it perches again on the wall. And he's following it out, but, you know, finally he gets out, and the owl flies out of the cave and just flies away into the trees somewhere. And he's like, that was weird. And so he goes back to his horse and he's looking at his horse and he's thinking, what the hell? His horse was all skinny, like it was gaunt, like it hadn't ate in a while. And where he pegged it down, just took a stake and he tied his reins to it really good so it couldn't get away. It was like a whole circle where that horse was all ate down, all the grass, everything. And there was a bunch of horsemen everywhere. Like, that horse been there for a while. He's, oh, that's weird. Like, what the hell's going on? He gets on his horse and he starts riding it. It can't even go very fast. It's weak. He gets all the way back to his house, and his family is just all just beside themselves. They're so worried. They're happy to see him. Like, where have you been? Like, what do you mean? I just went hunting for the day. You've been gone 2 weeks. Whoa. What are you talking about? Yeah, like, what are you talking about? And so anyways, that was a kind of a strange story. And see, that's what I'm saying. These owls are really, really strange. And I guess I'll tell one more.
Go for
it.
it.
I think I've told it, but the people here, I don't know if they've heard these stories that I've told. Well, so my very first paranormal experience involved these owls. And right across the creek from where I grew up at, my uncle and him had a horse ranch, cattle ranch over there. And I mean, I'm small. I'm really small. This is one of my earliest memories. And I still had braids at the time. Well, anyways, one night when they were after the handling the cows and horses and whatever like that, my dad's a cowboy. They're all cowboys over there. And I used to stay with my older sisters in that one bedroom. If we spent the night, that's where we'd all sleep, all the kids. And the adults, of course, they were drinking their adult beverages and they were staying up late, And so us kids would sleep in that one room. It only had one room in that little tiny ranch house. Well, I hear all the people go running out. I mean, I could hear a stampede in that little house. I could hear them all running out, and I got my curiosity, so I opened that door before my sisters can stop me, because they were always like guarding me, protecting me from myself. I was really a kind of adventurous little kid. Well, before they could stop me, I ran out. That front door is right ahead of that bedroom door, just straight ahead. So I jump off that porch out the front door, and I look, and I hear my uncles. They're all standing on line, like abreast of each other, and they're all yelling, "Get out of here, go away," like that. And I'm standing there and I'm looking and I'm thinking, is there a bear? Like, what's out there? Well, I was really curious. And all of a sudden I could hear like old men speaking Blackfeet, but kind of over by that tack shed. There's a little corral attached to that place where you store your saddles, things like that. And they had a horse trailer next to that, a red horse trailer. And I remember hearing it coming from that direction. And all of a sudden my eyes kind of drift up. And I see about 7 or 8 owls, and they're all on top of that horse trailer, and they're all speaking Blackfeet.
Wow.
And my uncles are getting mad. They're like, "Get out of here, go away, leave us alone," things like that. And just as I see them, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm just a kid, and I'm thinking, what? Owls talk? Like, do all animals talk? Like, how is this possible? A strange new world to me at the time, and I'm like, I didn't know what to really make of it. I was too young. But my mom she jerked me into that house. "What are you doing out here? You get back in that house. You're not supposed to be out here at night." She pulled me back into that house. Well, then I'm older now and I follow the traditional ways, and things like that. In our culture, I've learned, that they're just messengers. In our way, they're messengers. That they have a hard job though, because a lot of times their messages are kind of bad. Like they're warning you of hardship to come. Okay, so after this, my dad lost his mother, and that was the glue to our family, and our whole family fell apart. One of my uncles that was there lost his wife. Shortly after that, he lost his daughter. Another uncle, his whole family fell apart, and another uncle lost one of his wives too. And there was a lot of hardship that followed right after this, even for myself and for all of my sisters that were there. Well, they're my cousins, but all of them too. We all really had a hard time after that, and I'm pretty sure all of them owls were there to warn everybody what was coming, but they chased them off.
Probably. I mean, I don't think no one likes telling someone else bad news, especially someone with empathy. You know, it's like, I gotta tell this message. All right, well, shoot. Well, thank you, Lodge Tales. This is being screen recorded, by the way. Are you okay with that? If you're not, I can edit this part out. It's gonna be posted on YouTube. Are you okay with that?
No, brother, go ahead.
Awesome. And guys, if you haven't already, follow Lodge Tales. This guy has stories for days, and they're great stories. All right, follow them, follow him, follow him. Thank you for being here,
Thanks.
Lodge Tales. I appreciate you as always.
All right, we'll see you, brother.
Take care. All right, up next we have Timmy Butler. Hello.
Hello,
Thank you for being here. How old are you?
48.
Perfect. Thank you. I know you're North Pagan. Awesome. I'm a very eclectic pagan. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there. It's fine. But yeah, it's all you, man.
So, when I was younger, not so much now. When I was younger, I was kind of into witchcraft. And I believe in tarot cards. Tarot cards are, I still have my Arthurian tarot cards, my King Arthur tarot cards, which some people don't really approve of the Arthurian cards. What are your thoughts on those?
Whatever calls to you, calls to you. And no difference with runes, style of runes, or once again, tarot decks. Whichever style calls to you and it resonates with you somehow, it's meant for you.
I've just now tapped into my Norse heritage,
Oh, nice.
so I don't have a Norse card deck,
Yeah,
but I followed the Arthurian. Anyway,
that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not doing anything wrong. This is your path, man.
well, I'm getting into my runes. I'm getting into my Norse deck. Anyway, when I was younger, I hung around a guy, and he's the one that got me into the arts.
Yeah.
And about a year after I was hanging out with this guy, he was getting a divorce from his wife. And his wife was really into the arts, but it was not the good arts, not good ones. And me and him had gone out to do a binding spell. And we're in this field, and it was probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles away from his house, and we were going to do a binding spell on her because she was not into good stuff, and he was worried that going through the divorce, she was going to put a hex.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you're gonna say it. I mean, hex is a really derogatory word for it. Spell, whatever you want to say, on him and his lawyer to kind of screw him, I guess, maybe. So we went to a field. We had nail clippings. We had hairs from her brush. We had the red ribbon. We had the white ribbon. And we had the black ribbon. As we were doing this, we heard rustling in the trees behind us. This is an open field. There's nothing there, you know. I mean, maybe deer, rabbit, squirrel, whatever. But this was midnight. They're not up. Animals aren't around. They're down. This was really big rustling. Like, we're in Iowa. It sounded like a bear. There's no bear in Iowa. We tried to hurry. We tried to, we gotta do what we gotta do. We were both feeling very uneasy. We had our circle. We had our candles. We had our protection. And the rustling kept coming. We're safe. We did our protection spells. We're safe. The rustling was outside of our circle. We did what we needed to do. We start walking back to the car. Now, Jason was a little bit higher. A lot more experienced than me. We're running. We start running. He's literally 2 feet away from me, and we're running. We're running at the same pace. The dude literally disappears.
Oh.
I'm telling you, he's not even next to me. He's gone. But yet his footsteps are right next to me.
Wow.
I get back to the car. I look back. There's nothing. I look over my left. He's standing right next to me. And I am just in shock and awe.
Yeah.
We jump in the car, we take off. We get back to his house. I'm freaked out.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this before. Get back to the house, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you know what? I literally think Mary knew what we were doing, and she sent something after us. And I said, well, okay, fine and good, but where the fuck did you go? And he goes, what do you mean? I was right next to you. And I go, no, dude. For the first, 10, 15 feet you were, but for the last 30 yards, you were not. Well, I just wanted to shimmer. I didn't want anybody to see me. I didn't want anything to see me. And I go, shimmer? What do you mean? He goes, well, you don't know that? I mean, you don't know, you can't, nobody can turn invisible, but you can shimmer. The dude literally next to me, I had no idea where the fuck he was.
Yeah.
Can that even happen? I mean, I was there, but I don't know if it was because of the fear. I don't know. I was running straight ahead, but he was nowhere near me. Can that even happen?
No. I mean, no, dude. That's very, think about it. There's been plenty of times in our lives where we've been afraid. People don't just disappear when you're afraid, or even just a bit nervous.
There was a blur next to me. But it was like one of these things that I can see through.
Yeah, it's transparent. Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. I've never heard anything like that. After that, I was done. I still cover my mirrors in black sheets. I believe in divining mirrors, so I still do that because I don't want anybody to see me. But that kind of stuff kind of freaked me out. I mean, that's not normal.
Yeah.
And that was 25 years ago. And I don't know what the fuck he was into. If she was into the dark arts, he must have been touching it, because I've never seen or heard of anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's valid, dude. I'm Norse pagan. I was Norse pagan, and eclectic now, back in 2017 for quite a few years. And even being involved with kindreds and stuff like that, that's never happened in my experiences. So,
He was more into Celt,
yeah,
and the Celtic arts are a little bit different than the Norse.
yeah,
He may have been in with kind of the Fae, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
But we got back to his house, and I was done.
uh-huh,
The worst thing was, when I got home, I got my cards. They gave me the 2 of Cups, the Tower, and the 5 of Diamond, and the 5 of this is a long time ago. The 5 of Dagger.
yeah,
And what I saw out of that was, don't go back there.
valid.
And I don't know if you guys will divine that, what I saw, but I'm not. I never went back to there. I never went back to that town. It's been 20 plus years since I've even been back to that town. I don't know if he lives there anymore. I don't know if she lives there anymore. But after that, I was done.
Yeah. So I don't blame you, dude. That's terrifying. Something that's only in legend, something that's only in stories, it's just it's happening right in front of you. Yeah, I don't blame you for staying away.
Like, it's not going invisible. That's not what happens. Like I said, there was a blur.
Yeah.
There was like a blur next to me, and everything that I know is called the shimmer.
Yeah.
But that's only, in my opinion, that's only dark. That's only dark. And so for him to say his wife was dark and she was bad and we were doing a binding spell and all that, and all of a sudden, like, I'm running, and dude, the shit next to me, though, was growling and thrashing, and it was horrific. It was literally horrific. It was one of those things that you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking hellhound next to you. Well, it probably wasn't, but you know what I mean.
Probably Dharma.
The snarling and the growling and the fucking shit next to me running back to that car. I was gonna shit my pants.
Yeah.
And for us to do that binding spell in the middle of nowhere, and then all of a sudden, all this rustling and all that crap, and we got done with it, and I'm running back. Right now, I'm like 185 pounds, but at the time, I was like fucking 230, and I'm hauling ass. And I thought I was gonna die. And I thought I was going to be left behind, and I thought that he was just going to leave me there. It was a horrific. It's the last time I practiced magic. I've done my tarot cards since then, but it's the last time I've even tried to divine. It's the last time I've done a spell. It's the last time I've tried anything. It was one of the scariest moments of my entire life.
Oh, sure, man. I have a friend that wants to come on and say something. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Scorpio Star, feel free to come on. And I know the story means a lot to you, and I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that you're able to share this with me.
Well, thank you for letting me tell it.
Of course, dude. Yeah. Try to limit it on the swearing, though. I know how.
Sorry.
You're so good. You're so good. It's just the TikTok AI doing its thing. Sometimes it'll take down someone's lives for over usage of swearing. But thank you, though. I appreciate the hell out of you, dude. Yeah. All right. And real quick, too, are you okay if this is screen recorded?
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Just making sure, man. All right. Scorpio Star, come on up.
Also, as a medium, I could also smell things. And I was literally falling asleep as I'm listening to his story. And I smelled like death and decay as he was like telling the story. Like, and I have smelled like when things are like something's evil. I have smelled things before, but this was like 20 times intense. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And I did hear people that they can disappear. Like, I never heard of a shimmer, though. But, like, obviously where my boyfriend's from, Guyana, I have heard stories where people disappear. Like, it's crazy, but yeah. Like, you won't even see them there. So I just wanted to add that.
I've never heard that. And I always thought, like, what he said was, kind of myth, kind of legend. But I've always heard of shimmer. And I never saw that till then. And you know what? What I was running from was probably death. It was it sounded like trees were coming down around us, which they weren't, but it sounded like that. It was like a freaking hellhound was chasing us.
I think they were setting you up. Honestly, I think they were trying to do work on you.
I don't think so. I was helping him. I was with him. I mean,
you could help them to do your own thing. They do need you sometimes. They would do that,
So you think he was actually setting me up for a dark thing to control her? I mean,
I think he maybe made up a story and was like trying to hurt you because I'm like literally falling asleep here and I'm smelling like decay so bad and like
this is
I'm
a long
not
time
into
ago.
this stuff. Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like as you were telling your story, I was smelling it like so. I guess it was like just to help you, put your mind at ease that my spirit guides were showing you that smell, like it was something really dark,
Well, it was maybe 3 or 4 years after that I embraced my Norse paganism.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you got to be careful with people because they might not have your best intentions, So you always got to be careful, you got to be careful with people. And there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. There's no wrong or right here.
I've gotten off of the witchcraft type thing, and I've just embraced my old gods.
That's good. Whatever floats your boat, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on that because I did smell like the decay. So I just wanted to tell you that. You don't see this person no more, right?
Oh, hell no. It's been a long time since I've seen him. It was probably he got what he called an apprentice, maybe 8-9 months after that. And he totally went off on me for having an authoritarian deck.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what, dude? I believe in my authoritarian deck.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's the problem? And after he kind of took his side, I'm like, you know what? You know what, dude? You wanna hang out with this cat? Like, I'm good. I'm gonna do my own thing. And he contacted me like 2 or 3 times after that, and I said, you know what? I'm cool. I don't want to hang out with the dude you're hanging out with.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think he's negative, and that's not what I'm into.
Well, from what I could smell, because like I said, I'm not new to this. I've been doing this my whole life. Like, the smell I got as you were telling your story, I am glad you are away from that person, because that person was pure evil. Like, I have smelt that smell before on a negative person, but this was like intensified. So I am glad you are not near that person anymore, and continue to do, you know, what you would like to do. There's nothing wrong with that, but just be careful, because you cannot trust people. People will act like they're helping you or they need your help when they're really trying to do something to you. So just a word of advice, okay?
I wish I would have talked to you about like 3 years ago, because I found that out. So
Yeah, well, you know, we live and we learn, right?
well,
So keep yourself protected. You know, make sure you have black obsidian with you. I think that's good for absorbing negative energy. And just continue to do your thing. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no wrong or right here.
keep what with me?
Black obsidian. It's a stone. It's a crystal.
I know that, but you think I should I carry it? Should I keep it in my house? Should I keep it in my business? Do I have...
Like, you keep it with you, like, at all times. Like, keep it in your pocket. It's good to, you know, absorb negative energy and stuff.
Okay. I'm not into stone and mineral, so I don't know.
Okay. All right, just a suggestion. But if you want, look into it. You never know. It's good for protection. And that's all.
I will. Thank you. And you know
You're
what?
welcome.
Nocturne, thank you for letting me share my story, and thank you. I don't have my fucking glasses on. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
Scorpio star.
And thank you. I followed you, and thank you for the advice. I really
No
appreciate it.
problem. Thank
But
you. And
I'm not into witchcraft anymore. I'm not into, I'm not in that anymore. I follow the old gods now.
okay.
So, I mean, I think I would be halfway out of it, maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think there's something with me that still wants to follow. In my opinion, Wicca.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, I love the idea of Gaia. I love
Okay.
the idea of Mother Earth.
Yes.
But I also know in my heart that I know the old gods follow us.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
I,
Keep following your path, dude. There's no right or wrong answer, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no right and wrong answer. Just keep going, you dude. I used to be part of a kindred, all that stuff, you know, but 2020 made us all fall apart, and now I just practice my own way. It's just me now, man. So there's no right or wrong answer, dude. Just keep doing you. Do what resonates with you. You already know that. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. I do what I want. Like, you know, I do my own thing. I don't follow what anybody says, and I don't care what anybody thinks.
yeah.
what I'm
And
kind
that's
of,
my.
what I'm kind of scared is that my wife doesn't. She was never brought. I was raised Roman Catholic.
Yeah, me
Me
too.
too.
The three of us here. Kind of, I was kind of.
And my wife was brought up with no religion.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
So she's not a nihilist, but she just doesn't really believe in anything.
That's okay.
Okay, yeah.
And I've tried to kind of push her towards, you know, the pagan, not pagan, the Norse religion were all the old gods. You know, I believe in the Norse religion.
Mm-hmm.
Whole, and I don't think she really gets it. I don't think she really understands that. In my view, there's a reason for everything.
Yes.
There's a God that looks out for everyone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, you know, and I'm fine with it, you know, because she grew up without it. She grew up with no religion,
Mm-hmm.
not Christian, pagan, heathen, nothing. She grew up with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got pregnant with my daughter, I kept the placenta
Okay.
and I buried it in my backyard.
A lot of people do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's Norse pagan. It's for
Okay.
it's for good luck.
Okay.
In the way that we see it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing that for? Why do you have that? That's gross." and the doctors looked at me like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, why do you want that?"
Yeah, I have heard of that before. People do that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Well, it's for prosperity. It's for good luck. It's for her. It's for my daughter."
Yeah, you're planting roots. Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't know, she was just kind of disgusted by it because I bring this bag of biohazard
A bio, yeah.
back to my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't leave you, so I'm sure it's okay.
What I
Just, you know.
feel is that she knows this path makes you happy.
Yeah.
And she's
It makes me happy.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's
all
okay.
that is.
That's okay, and I know you have a respect for her too, and just that's okay. So, you know, my girlfriend, she's an atheist, and I wouldn't have her any other way. I try to convert her at one point too, but you know, I love her for her, and I love seeing her smile, and if this path makes her happy, I'm happy for her, you know, and vice versa.
Yeah.
She's happy for me. She's right here with me as we're speaking. She's smiling at me. She's
Aw,
saying,
I love
when are we
it.
gonna watch a movie? I want to watch a movie or Attack on Titan, one of them. But yeah, like, see, she just said I support it.
Oh, I love that. You see? Look at that.
So yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
everybody's
it's okay.
different.
It's
Just-
okay, dude. You know,
Yeah.
Not to be disrespectful, but I don't know how anybody can be an atheist though. Not to be disrespectful,
Of course,
honey.
of course, yeah.
I know you're right there, but I don't understand that. There's you know what? We gotta have something, and I believe the old gods look after us. It's not the new gods. It's not the tech. There's something that looks after us, and I'm not disrespecting her. Don't block me on
no,
anything.
no,
okay?
no, dude, no. It's okay to have an opinion. It's what makes you human. Yeah, no disrespect taken. She just said so.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, I've had a lot of experiences. Like me and you both had experiences in life where, like, okay, no, there's definitely a supernatural here. You know, earlier I was telling about my story about when I was assaulted by twin spirits on the ship I was stationed on when I was in Japan. So,
Navy.
Navy, yeah.
Hey, thank you for the service.
Thank you for the support. But yeah, no, to me, it's very real. And even like as we speak today, sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll be in the front room and I'll be scrolling TikTok, whatever, because I have ADHD. That helps me fall asleep. At the corner of the room, there's a peeker that looks at me from the shadows. And every time I look back at it, it immediately just retracts itself. And yeah, dude, like as someone who's been assaulted 2 times by otherworldly
Yeah.
entities, yeah, no, something like that does get under my skin a bit. So, but yeah,
And that's appreciated because that's also kind of fucking rare. Sorry for the swearing.
You're good, you're
That's
good,
kind of
you're good.
rare.
yeah, no, for sure, man. I pray that no one ever goes through those kind of experiences, really, you know, because that's a fear on a different level. Like, it's one thing seeing it on the movies, but when it happens to you in real life, there's no film score in the background, you know? Thank you, bro. So, but yeah, I know what you're stepping on, dude. I do.
Yeah. Keep doing your thing, though.
That story's not my only story though. So I mean, I got a few, and that's the one that freaked me out the most.
Well, if you have more stories you want to tell, there's no time limit for you to be here. Also, another thing too, I do ghost story narrations. So, like, whether it's a cryptid encounter, UFO encounter, alien encounter, or obviously this kind of encounter, completely supernatural, I do narrations of it. You can send me your story through type it out. And I make a-
YouTube?
both YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. If you have an Instagram, I'll tag you and even add you as collaborator. You don't have to pay me,
Oh,
nothing
shit.
like that. Just send it to me and I'll make a whole video on it.
Is the YouTube link in your? If I tap in your name,
It's so my YouTube link. I think it's Samael_Rain, but it should be on my link tree in my profile.
I'm gonna click real quick.
For sure, man.
All right,
yeah.
I'm getting off of here because my phone's gonna die, but I'll be listening. You have a good one.
You too, Scorpio Star. Thank you as always.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
But yeah, dude. Yeah. If you want to keep telling
How
your
do I
story,
get to it?
Vegeta, I see you. Don't worry. You are in the queue.
Hold on. How do I get to that then? Samael.
Go to my profile. Just click on my profile. You can come right back if you want to. If you want, you'll still see my narrations on Instagram as well. So you can click on my. You can't click here, of course, but if you go on my Instagram, you could find me as Samael_Nocturne. So. Anyway, Tim, I know you're still there, but I'm gonna move on to the next guest. There's only one person ahead of you. That's it. And
All right. Hey, I got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me join.
of course, dude.
And your friend Scorpio. Thank you for giving me advice and for the support. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
I couldn't join. I'm gonna do it now. Samael_Rain. I will do it right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
No problem, man. Take care and hail the old ways and hail the gods, hail the ancestors.
God bless you.
Take care. All right, Vegeta, you're next. Hello there.
Hello, Sam. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience. How old are you?
I am 39.
Perfect. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there. And try not to get fanatical. It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy.
Well,
And one more
actually, this
question-
has something to do before I was even able to have religion in my life.
For sure. Real quick. This is a question for you, actually. This is all screen recorded. Are you okay with your story being on YouTube?
I'm fine.
Perfect. All right. It's all you, dude.
So, I was 8 years old when this happened, and my family moved into a new, well, not new, but an older complex here in Denver, Colorado. And it was, an old apartment complex. My parents gave me and my brother the back room to share. and it was overlooking the playground in our backyard. So one evening I decided, to look out my window. I got to watch this dude lean over the jungle gym dome on the playground and end up morphing into a werewolf.
Woo! Wow.
It was so intense that it's burned into my memory. I told my parents. My parents saw how fanatic I was about it. And the very next day, they moved my room from the back room to the front of the house.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You mind if I'm throwing my 2 cents on that? Just speculation,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. It was probably a skinwalker. My reason I say that is because skinwalkers, according to lore, are Native American shamans that have the ability to shape-shift into different animals, and it could have taken the form of a wolf-man hybrid. And
Well, see, that's one of the things that we kind of went through, because I'm heavy into the supernatural. I'm actually very much into the UFO end of the supernatural, but I also do, stuff with, paranormal and, ghosts and so forth. I mean, I dive very deep. My wife hates it because I'm like into, cryptids, and she's like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Hey, let's go out to the woods and see if we can track down a Bigfoot."
yeah,
And she's like, "Why? I want to fight him."
yeah, screw wrestling a bear, man. Let's wrestle a Bigfoot, dude. I love it. I love it, man.
It's one of those things. Like I went through all the different things, and no, this dude was a werewolf. There was no chances about it. Like the dude was in an immense amount of pain while he was morphing.
Okay.
He was holding onto a bottle of liquor that he ended up dropping and breaking
Ooh.
because he was in so much pain.
Wow, dude.
I watched the full transformation and everything, and like people say like werewolves, vampires, and other creatures of the night don't exist, and people don't understand that they're the creatures of the night. You're sleeping. They ain't around when you're awake.
Yeah, it's crazy because yeah, no, I get you. When we're asleep, dude, like let's be real. Humans naturally have a fear of the dark. I'm not saying vampires exist, vampires don't exist, but like there's still plenty of cases. The reason why the idea of a vampire and werewolves went down the drain is all because of the influence of the church back then, because they tried discrediting them, discrediting all the incidents that happened in Europe as well as other countries, different regions of Earth.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, no, they might be out there.
The Catholic Church has its hands in a lot of stuff. We have to take into consideration of looking at the Bible and how many times they revised that to take out books to fit the narrative that they want.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I
yeah.
mean, when you look at stuff like that, you have to understand as well that they would definitely cover up the supernatural if they could.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because why would you want people being afraid of stuff like vampires, werewolves, ghouls, if you could just tell them that a savior could turn around and be the one to, whisk it all away?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, indeed, yeah. So yeah, I don't discredit the possible existence of vampires and werewolves. Once again, like even in the city, being in the city, at nighttime in sketchy areas, generally speaking, a lot of us aren't going to venture in those areas. Like, no, nada.
I'm a little bit weirder than most. I venture into places where people aren't.
Yeah, and not just that, the forest too, there's barely any lights in the woods, dude. So, just leaves a little bit to the imagination right there, you know what I mean? But,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
And I definitely get it, because I understand the skinwalker thing too, because I'm part Native American, so it's a story that's been passed down, and but it being Colorado of all places, like to see a person morph into a werewolf is like insane.
yeah. Yeah, no kidding, dude.
especially when you're a kid, because that type of stuff just like burns and edges into you for like the rest of your life.
Yeah. Well, something like that, you don't just forget.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had supernatural things where my mom went to go open a cupboard and a knife fell out of the cupboard where it shouldn't have been, and my mom's like, "Who put that there? My dad didn't put it there. My mom didn't put it there. I couldn't reach it because I was like 8 years old, and top cupboard's like way up there."
Yeah.
And my mom's just like, "What the heck?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe this place is haunted." I mean, you got to remember, some of the places here in Colorado are Native American land.
Mm-hmm.
And when you dig up, Native American land, you get bad juju.
Yeah. No, for sure, Vegeta. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, definitely.
All right, man. Well, take care. You have a wonderful night and so on. Yeah, thank you, man.
You too. I hope you enjoy your Attack on Titans.
Will do. All right, bye. All right. Yes, this is a Christian friendly live. However, it's not something we endorse, though. We don't really endorse any kind of religion. This is all very open-minded. We're all very much on our own path, as well as me. And yes, this is a Christian-friendly live. Yes, it is. As long as there's no fanaticism behind it, like, as in no preaching, you're more than welcome to be here. Always. So. But yes, guys, there's about 11 more minutes left of the live. If you guys have a story you want to share right now, feel free to jump on, be a guest, and would love to hear your story. If you guys want me to tell one of my stories, I'll gladly do so. Or if you want me to look up an article about a certain haunting, a famous haunting, let me know in the comments. It's very hard for me to tell this story. It's very disturbing. For sure, yeah, no, feel free to jump on. Yeah, once again, as long as there's no preaching. It's okay to say I prayed, that's completely valid. That's fine. So, Wonder Buns. I don't send another request again. I don't see you in the queue. Send a guest request again. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. You are next, Wonder Buns. Hello there.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Real quick, bear with me. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Perfect. This is being screen recorded. It's going to be uploaded on YouTube. Are you okay with your story being on here?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Perfect. Try not to cuss like FDFF. It's okay to swear here and there, and try not to get too fanatical. It's okay to have religion in your story, but not to a point to where it's preachy. That being said, it's all you.
Okay. I only have a few minutes to talk because I do have to go to bed.
For sure.
But so pretty much I got a bunch of crystals recently. I dropped a good amount of money on them. And I got shelves. So I'll put the shelves. Give me a second. It's kind of loud up here. I got shelves to display them. And I'll move them in a certain area. Hold on. I can't see out here. Oh, where's the little? Okay. So I'll place them in a certain way. And I remember exactly how they're placed.
Mm-hmm.
Not I'll leave the room or go do something and I'll come back and they're moved. And I know how they were before. So okay, so I'll put them back in their position and then other things will move and then they'll move it back. Sometimes they'll knock it over. At first, I thought it was super cool. And then I started getting a little annoyed. But for the most part, it's pretty cool. The other night, I get a little frustrated with something I was dealing with, and I told them, I'm like, no, not right now. Do not mess with me.
Yeah.
So I woke up the next day. They didn't move anything. They backed off. So I do think they're friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say they, I do think there's more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard a woman at the foot of my bed, this was a while ago, making some type of adult sounds. And I was like, what? And my dog started like growling and barking at the direction that we heard the sound. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes and turn over and pretend like I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
And then another time, this actually happened today. I was in my room, and where my room is, it's like kind of like a porch. So, I mean, like on porch, but it was like a manufactured porch into a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk through the sliding glass door into the house, there's a kitchen that you walk right into, kind of. And I swear I heard a man's voice today. And I know it wasn't anyone in the house because there is no men in my house. So I was like, oh no. Again, I don't think they cause any harm, but I do think there is a lot of activity going on in my house. And that's why I say they, because I think there is a man, there's a woman, all spectrum going on in my house. Yesterday, I'm a dog groomer, so I had in my dining room area, right next to the kitchen, I was grooming a dog, and where the grooming loop is, it connects to like this bar where there's like this little metal loop. Mm-hmm. And to unscrew it, like to take it off, you have to unscrew it multiple times just to get it off. I'm like shaving the dog or trimming its feet. I was trimming its feet and it just comes off. Like it didn't like hurt the dog. It like fell down. I was like, what? I didn't think anything of it. But then like the other loop on the opposite side that I never touch fell and then went flying across the room. I was just like, ugh. Why can't you guys just leave me alone for a little bit? Like, chill for, like, at least a day. So, there's a lot going on in my house. This was a few weeks ago. It was around, like, 2 or 3 in the morning. I felt a poke in my neck, and I was just like, oh. So, I don't know what happened, but I got hungry. So, I went to the kitchen to get a snack, and I came back, and my little bunny plushie was, like, placed perfectly on my pillow. So, that's my story. I have a lot of activity. No, it is wild.
For sure. No, I appreciate you coming on here. And, well, I hope things get better with you. So.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Have a wonderful night. If you have more stories you want to tell, I'll be on here Tuesdays to Fridays, 7 p.m. Pacific time to 9 p.m. Pacific time. Once again, thank you for being here. You're always welcome here.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right, bye. All right. Okay, guys, we have 5 more minutes. Suéntame. I do not speak Spanish. I can pronounce words, but I can't speak it. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the roses, though. I appreciate you. We have 4 more minutes left of the live, everybody, so I have time for one more story. Just one more. Ugh. And once again, guys, if you really like this, smash that like button. And, yeah. Whew. All right. Not for sure, Ephraim. I'll be on tomorrow night, so... Or if you want to message it to me, if you want to type it out and message it to me, personally, I can make a whole TikTok video about it. Thank you for the follow, Ephraim. I'll make a whole TikTok video about it. If you have an Instagram... I'll obviously tag you in it, also add you as a collaborator if you'd like. So this will also be on YouTube as well, your story. So yeah, I guess we're going to conclude it right here then. Once again, guys, if you have a story you'd like me to narrate, DM it to me. I will put you in the queue and I'll make a whole TikTok video about it. Check out my stuff, check out my content. I do modeling and ghost story narrations. I just uploaded some modeling pics and videos on my Instagram. So, yeah. Instagram and TikTok. Follow my Instagram too. Jeez. Yeah, follow my Instagram. Yeah. Blow up my Instagram and boost that followship. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you, Lena. But yeah, so that being said, I'm going to conclude with these 2 messages as always. The first message is, if you're going through thank you so much for the likes. If you're going through a mental health crisis, guys, dial the number 988. Hey Zapper, good to see you. The reason why I have that there, the reason why I talk about 988 is because when I first started doing TikTok lives, I had a follower that met me on here on live and just wasn't in the right place, right mental place, and she was ready to do this to herself. She called me, and she's still with us, thankfully, but I had to tell her, look, this can't be an often thing here. Not that I don't care, it's just I don't always have the right things to say. However, people at 988, they do all the time, and they have all these teams behind them. Yeah, thank you, Zapper. I appreciate you. Thank you, homie. I've contacted them in the past during hard times, and they're the sweetest people you'll ever talk to. They're not there to judge you, label you, diagnose you, or anything like that, send you immediately to a shrink. No. They're there to just hear you out and make sure you keep your feet on the ground for the night and make sure you make it through. They'll give you some follow-up phone calls if so necessary. So, guys, if you're going through a mental health crisis, contact the national hotline 988. All right. If you're a veteran too, like myself, dial the number and they'll send you to someone that specializes with veterans and mental health. So please contact 988 if you're going through a mental health crisis. My final message. Break the chains that bind you. Keep moving forward in life, even if it's just baby steps. Look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of how far you made it, and show yourself the love for it. You owe it to you to not let the thoughts win. Live with conviction, and remember, it can't rain all the time. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I'll be here Tuesdays to Fridays, 7 p.m. Pacific time by Ham to 9 p.m. Pacific time. And if you see me on in the middle of the night, like 11 or midnight, that's because I can't sleep. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? I feel like doing a live. You'll see me on at random too. So yes, guys, thank you once again. And if you have a story you'd like me to narrate, once again, DM me your stories, type them out. Give me content to create, guys. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night, and thank you.